Hi, this is Old Man Killing It. It's my channel. I'm Robert. I'm here today to answer a question that I actually have had a number of people ask me over the years, is can I become a songwriter? How do I write songs? I have written several hundred songs over the last 40 years, 30 years really. Most will never see the light of day. Most are exercise songs. They're for me. Sometimes I've shared them at open mics or with others. I have done one CD over the years. But songwriting is a love of mine because there's something, a lot of people think there's something almost magical about being able to write a song. Ask a group of people, can you write a song? And most will give you a, oh no, I can't do that. That's impossible. I don't know how you could ever do that. And truth is, a song is just a story. And we all have stories. We all have things that are unique to our lives. They're our stories. And with some simple application of a little bit of musicality and some studying a little bit of song form, you can write a song. In fact, about an hour ago I said, I'm going to do this video and I really like to write a song for the video. And so I sat down and started just going through my mind about something I'd like to write about, something I've never written about before, and I came up with an idea. And so we're going to talk through the process of writing a song. And at the end of it, I'm going to play for you what I have. It's not a complete song. I have a couple of verses. I don't have a chorus. I have a partial bridge. But I thought it'd be interesting just to let you kind of walk through this process with me. When you're going to write a song, I think the first thing you have to do is think about your genre. Are you writing a folk song? Are you writing a Christian contemporary song, a gospel song? Are you writing a country song, a rock song? And oftentimes, it'll depend on what you listen to as to what you gravitate toward writing. I tend to write more toward Christian contemporary and folk, a little bit of gospel, a little bit of country. Country's really not my strong point, but I think you'd consider most of it kind of folk or Americana based. But you have to have an idea in the beginning because that will determine the musicality, the music you would choose, the chord structures that you would choose for your song as well. And then you have to have an idea. Where do ideas come from? They're everywhere. I keep a log. In fact, here's every year I have a large notebook, and I try to fill it throughout the year with songs, with some completed projects, but with a lot of just little ideas. I will hear something, I'll keep it next to me, I'll hear something in a movie or on TV, a line that sounds interesting, a specific word that just rings true to me, that there'd be a word maybe I haven't used before. So come up with an idea. A song has to have some movement to it. When you write a first verse, and then later you come back and write the second verse shouldn't just restate what you said in the first verse. It should have some movement to it. It should advance the story to some degree. And this little song I wrote, I'm going to play for you in a couple of minutes. It'll show you how it progresses from one thought and continues that thought down the road. You need to learn something about song form. What's a chord, or what's a chorus, what's a bridge, what's a verse. And those are things that there's lots of information online that you can read and find out. You also need to learn a little bit about what I refer to as the Nashville song, or the Nashville number system. And that's how does one chord work with another chord. Read up on the Nashville number system because your music has to make sense to our Western ears from a music standpoint. Our ears are developed to anticipate and to expect certain song progressions in the music. You have to learn about that. Your chorus, there's an old saying in songwriting, don't bore us, get to the chorus. Your chorus is the highlight. Your chorus is the big picture. And it needs to be that both musically and lyrically. There needs to be a single point to a song. And with that single point, that needs to be highlighted in your chorus. Now your bridge will come later if there is a bridge, and most contemporary music has a bridge. It's kind of a B section or a C section of a song, and it can be looking at the subject from a different viewpoint. I heard John Prine one time say that he thinks of looking through a different window into a house, where if you look through the front windows, you see certain stories taking place. But go around to the side and look in a different window, maybe you see things from a different angle. I think it's a good way to look at a bridge. You're telling the story, a little more of the story, but from a different angle. So don't be afraid to start. If you play music, that's an advantage. If you play guitar or piano, it is an advantage. If you don't, find someone to collaborate with. Work on your lyrics. Now keep in mind, you're going to have to write probably, in fact, I heard a guy say one time, write 100 songs and then throw them away and start over. Because in that first 100 songs, you're not going to write anything great, but you will start learning the process of advancing ideas and stories. So I'm going to play for you the song I started about 40 minutes ago, because I wanted an example to be able to play for you of something that happened within the last hour. I was going to wait and just do this live on camera, but I wanted to have a good start. So in my mind, I was thinking, what's something I would like to write about that I haven't written before? My father was 60 years old when I was born. I was raised by a senior citizen who was retiring past the point of being able to do a lot of physical work, but he still kept a garden. He always had a nice garden at our house. And I thought a lot about all the times that I would be outside watching my father in his garden, how much joy that garden gave him. And so I want to play this song for you, and I'm going to kind of walk through my thought process as I'm going through it. I don't even know the title, and it's probably called Daddy's Garden. But it starts with this. I remember my daddy's garden, how he loved to work the soil. Actually, I'm supposed to love to work the ground. He'd gone from farming 900 acres to a small patch behind the trailer now. Every spring he'd till the soil. After frost, he'd lay good seed down. And here's where the chorus would be. I don't have one written, but it would be la da la da da da. Energy level up. La da 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 la da da. That's a G, a C, and a D. La da 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 la da 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 la da da da. Sitting on that D, going to verse 2. I went back from my reunion, 50 years lost somewhere. I saw where his dreams once were planted, overgrown now, no garden there. Every spring he'd till the soil. After frost, he'd lay good seed down. Again, coming to the chorus that doesn't exist, but la da da, la da da da, la 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 da da. Coming up to the bridge. Bridge is a little different. I'm gonna experiment here. I might go to an E minor. He grew more than just a garden. He grew a family. He grew our faith. He pulled some weeds. He kept us watered. Last line I don't have. La da, something that rhymes with faith. Maybe planted seed to see us grow another day. Something like that. I'm on a D. I'm going to go back to the chorus I don't have. La da da, la da da da, la da da, la da. I can finish that make-believe chorus out, but you get the idea. Each time I came out of the verse, I'm on a D, In the natural number system, that's a 5. It's kind of suspended. There's no resolution. I'm going to go to the G. La da da. Can you hear that? How it goes da da da. And going from the 5 to the 1 is very common, very popular. To the Western ear, to modern day country, Christian contemporary, folk, Americana, kind of across the board. Sometimes you go from a 4, in this case would be a C, back to a G. That's for another day. But anyway, to answer the question, can you become a songwriter after the age of 40 or 50 or 60? The answer is yes. It just takes work. It takes practice. There's a lot of great books. Robin Frederick has written several great books on songwriting, a lot of great hints. So much information online. So the only thing I would tell you is if you love music, if you have ideas, if you're a poet, you think some of the poetry can work over into lyrics for a song. A lot of times that's what songs will start with, poetry or short stories. Just write. Write, enjoy it. This is Old Man Killing It from Phoenix, Arizona, saying God bless you and keep up your journey, whatever that may be. Have a great day. Bye.